This UFL Sucks Week 6 Picks edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Play their fantasy pick 'em for a chance to win 100x in NBA, golf, MLB, MMA, NHL, and more. Sign today over at UnderdogFantasy.com using promo code SGPN to get a 100% deposit match. We're also brought to you by NYRA Bets. Sign up today for a $25 free bet and $200 deposit bonus. Promo code SGPN25. Just go to nyrabets.com/SGPN25.
Hey, it's Scooby right here, aka Shark Dog, listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, second the money green with my partner of picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
All right, so we're still doing this. I thought this was
We're
a joke.
still doing this.
I thought this was a joke.
We're still talking United Football League. I'm back. Went on a crazy heater. Joining us here from the UFL Gambling Podcast, Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee. What's happening, Colby?
Hashtag UFL Jeff sucks.
Wow.
Yes, he still sucks.
Right? You're talking.
I don't know if we went in on all the. I mean, there's another person involved, but the level of sucks that Jeff has able to achieve is just insanely comical, and clearly doesn't monitor any form of social media or UFL related media, because he was still going like, "Hey, if you follow up with some materials of you being credentialed and showing what you can do," and I'm like, just to reiterate, I think you and your organization are a pile of shit. I am never reaching out to be credentialed ever by you again, and I don't need any of your help. And he goes, "I'd be careful. We're a pretty tightly run knit organization. The league that's going to go out of business, you and the other credentialing." Also, the great thing about this show, I don't need to be credentialed. Okay, credential my dick. I don't give a shit.
It's the US of A, Jeff. All right.
Yeah. Thankfully, Jeff, Jeff would love Russia because there's a lot of rules, and hey, you follow the rules. Hey, comrade Jeff. Sorry, this is America. There's a thing called freedom of speech, and I can tell you and the UFL that you guys totally suck. You know who doesn't suck? Me. 4-0 ATS.
Woo!
Hit the lock. Hit the dog. I mean, just cash fest right now. Look at this. Kramer is in last place, and even he is 18-13-1, 58%, 75% on his locks. I'm 19-12-1, 61% overall, 80% of my locks. Colby 19-12-1 as well, 75% on his locks. Discord is only hitting at 38%, aka our consensus plays 62%. Even producer Josh hitting his locks at 80%.
Whoa.
Of course, those are only for the Patreon members. You have to have access to the UFL Picks sheet to get producer Josh's picks.
That's an undocumented perk.
Yes,
of the Patreon.
We got to start leaning into that, Ryan. Oh, and speaking of the Patreon, shout out to the winner of last week's Patreon pick'em, Roy Olofsson. Congrats,
Roy Orbison.
Yeah, it sounds like it. He took home a $100 SGPN gift card. Ryan, what is this week's Patreon pick'em prize?
Well, I was gonna say we could take something random off of Colby's desk.
Yes,
but it has
mystery prize.
Well, no.
I noticed you guys moved the picture of me and my wife about to get on a boat off my desk. I was offended. My wife was offended. How
does she know?
Just,
we're on a boat.
I had to say, hey, our boat photo is gone. It's missing.
It's somewhere here. It's somewhere in this office.
It's in the.
Should we give that away? Should we give that away?
Might have been in the last
That would be-
prize pack. Yes, sir. Yeah, if you accidentally got Colby's Colby, a picture of Colby and his wife.
You get a T-shirt, some lighters, and
don't be a
a
weirdo.
personal photo from Colby's desk.
Well, I think we just had the draft, Sean.
Yes.
We got to do a mini helmet.
Oh, mini helmet.
Yeah,
Do we have mini helmets?
We have a mini helmet.
All right, SGPN mini helmet
And something random from the office.
and random mystery prints.
Yeah, and random mystery thing from the office.
Okay.
We have some cleaning up to do.
Yeah, we're gonna just start mailing. I mean, because some of it is stuff that like I feel dumb throwing out, but you know what kind of psycho is gonna want some Vape Wild sunglasses? But I think the audience would enjoy them because they're all stuff that we've had on the show at some point or some
and I've always thought having
and we do have some good shirts too.
a prize chest with random things in it. I mean that I'm just
crack
saying,
open your prize chest.
I'm looking at bags of SGP t-shirts over there.
Yeah, we have some good t-shirts, some underdog t-shirts, some new we got a new partnership coming out, maybe some of those t-shirts, although I really like those, so we'll see. Hey, friendly reminder, NBA and the Hockey Gambling Podcast, of course, getting you ready for the Stanley Cup playoffs and the NBA playoffs. And of course, it is Derby week here on the Sports Gambling Podcast. So excited for the Kentucky Derby. Perfect time. We just got this partnership going with NYRA. Of course, bet the run for the roses with NYRA bets. Score big on the Kentucky Derby with a double dose of rewards. That's right. First off, you sign up today. You get a $25 free bet. I mean, can you imagine what you can do with a $25 free bet on the Kentucky Derby and a $200 deposit bonus over at nyrabets.com/SGPN25. And they have a ton of other opt-in bonuses. The Kentucky Derby Oaks, you can get a $30 bonus there. They got an extra $50 for the 150th Derby. I did not realize this was happening. You bet $250 each on the Belmont, the Big A, and Churchill's Down for a $50 bonus. The Triple Crown, of course, this is the start of that. You can opt in and bet $25 on the Derby, Preakness, and get a $10 bonus on Belmont Stakes Day. So again, this is NYRA Bets is going to be where you go to get going for the Triple Crown. Of course, kicking off the Triple Crown is the Kentucky Derby. You can catch all the Triple Crown action on America's Day at the Races. Join now to claim your $25 free bet and $200 deposit bonus at nyrabets.com/SGPN25.
Sean, are you one of the ones that get dressed up for the Derby?
Yes. I will. Yep.
Really?
I'm going to be wearing a big, crazy hat.
No, he's a
We're
Philly
going to join
sports
some
fan.
mint juleps.
Now, if you really went, would you dress up for the Derby?
Oh yeah, if I went, I get myself a seersucker soup,
a cigar, right?
cigar, chomping on a cigar. I mean, that's
What's
why you
that
go. It's about the
Yeah,
Colby, as a guy who likes college sports, you understand the pageantry
I do.
of the Kentucky Derby.
We went to
history.
College Station. We
Yeah.
saw the parades and the military dedicated to cheering on the sideline.
They
of the
worship
football
that,
field.
To quote Mike
border
Leach,
collie?
you know they're not really in the military.
Lance Corporal fucking grab ass over there.
Oh man,
hopefully
rest in peace.
Hopefully that's not. Yeah, rest in peace to Lance Corporal grab ass.
No, to Coach Leach. Man. I appreciate it every time we bring it up with him. You know, they're not really in the military.
Actually, you know what?
They do, but they just like marching. Come on. Oh, Ryan, what are you getting? Your signed Kyle Juszczyk?
Well,
mini
underneath
helmet?
the Kyle Juszczyk helmet, we have a bit of a treasure trove here. So I will include in the Patreon prize.
What?
What is this right here?
What?
Still in the
The Mike
draft.
Leach
autographed,
poker chip?
right?
Are
Autographed
you
on the
kidding me?
back,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
All right, so we'll do
Autographed.
Mike Leach. Is it actually autographed?
I think so, right? Am I wrong?
Well, we're not
Let me
going
see it. Let me see it.
we're not going to provide a certificate of authenticity.
No,
we'll say that.
It's Coach Leach autograph.
It's definitely signed. Whether or not it was printed or he signed it, who knows? Let's just put it this way: we got a shipment of Coach Leach poker chips.
Yes.
And this is going to be the first one we release.
So yeah, if you're not in on it, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon.
Oh, these are fun. We might have more of these. So
Yeah, I think Colby ordered a bunch.
Special Texas
Well,
Tech.
I feel like we got to start
That's
playing
the-
some Texas Hold'em here.
That's the irony of it. It's a Texas Tech chip, the one school that he fucking hates. Fuck Texas Tech.
Should go. Hopefully, it goes to his estate so he can finally get paid there.
All right. What do you want to do, Sean? You want to talk about this fucking league? Anything else you want to get off your chest about them?
No, Comrade Jeff sucks, but yeah, I just dominated the league.
I didn't mean to seem rude earlier. I was reading my phone because I was getting some hard hitting reporting. Colby can vouch for this, paragraph upon paragraph. I don't want to say anything out of line, but the space inside the coveted UFL media room.
Oh,
I'm starting to wonder the reason they don't want us to go in there is because it's a room for people that don't actually like football.
wow, Ryan. Wow.
I heard a report that you're
Unconfirmed.
an unconfirmed alleged report. Sources are saying that there was European soccer being watched in a football.
At least
media.
play blackjack. Come on.
There's a lot of things that I would give you a pass on if you were doing at your job, sneaking away from your job, watching football to watch soccer. I like soccer. Wrong. That's not, I mean, what were you told, Sean?
This is
deadlines only.
If I must,
They're on deadline. Okay.
If I must shit on the NFL and college football here.
Why are we
don't
doing
do
that?
that.
We're shitting on the UFL.
Well,
It's a UFL
I'm going to shit
episode.
on the NFL and college football because
Okay.
this is where I disagree with growing the game. If you grow the game, you're going to have a lot of this. And you know,
boy.
playing like Georgia Tech plays Florida State in Ireland for some stupid reason to
That's
start the
awesome.
season.
Love it.
Absolutely terrible. There's no connection to the.
You
to
don't
the-
like Irish people. I like it.
Well, just
I like that.
you know.
Are you okay with Notre Dame playing in Ireland?
Yes, I
Okay.
think that's the one you could do.
So it's
right?
racism.
Yeah, and then
Let's not talk
because
about the game. We're gonna
another
play
reason
over
is Notre Dame plays like 10 neutral site games as it is. So it's like if that's their schedule that they've done forever, do it. But come on, you're gonna have a bunch of shit like this. When you get the soccer fans involved, that's when next thing you're gonna get the Vlade Divac acting involved. You're starting to see it with LeBron. You know what I mean? It's gonna be everywhere. And next thing you know, we're not even gonna we're gonna have domes.
That
We're gonna
was-
get next thing you know,
that
you're
was
not gonna have
slippery.
Soldier Field. You're not gonna have Arrowhead. You're gonna have this
What?
this bullshit out
Colby,
there.
what do you say to
what's
the
going on?
rumors that you were going to switch your podcast studio to outdoors in a protest of because you don't want to be known as a dome podcaster.
I don't want that.
I've noticed that all your
well,
podcasts have been indoors. Kramer and I have done live outdoor
Multiple.
podcasts at Stadium Swim.
Well, I've been waiting for us to be able to have a retractable
Okay.
roof like your stadiums, you know, your NFL stadiums.
You know,
there, right?
for someone who has a lot.
I want to just be there when you propose that to our landlord.
Well, you know,
I'm still trying to get him to fix that overhead light. So good luck on the retractable stadium.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. You start letting that creep in. Next thing you know, you just that's where the world goes wrong.
Cut it
man.
off at the pass. I like
you
it.
know.
I don't know. I'm looking at movies over here because I was going to make a reference, but there was a movie where like futuristic AI, and then there's a rebellion going against it, but the rebellion was being led by the AI itself. Sometimes when I hear Colby create his enemies, I wonder if Colby's not his own worst enemy.
That's next level, right?
UFL Jeff is on my list.
Well, it's good that you have a actual representation of someone, but I mean, it's the landlord. It's me and Sean for not opening the roof. That's what's holding you back. It's UFL Jeff.
There's a lot. There's a
It's
much
the
bigger list
kickoff
than that.
rule.
Oh, but
It's weather.
Yeah, weather and football is
lighting.
supposed to happen. You know what I mean?
It's
That's the one good
it's
thing about all
CTE.
this, though, is since you know forever we had the Arena Football League. Well, the NFL is going to be the Arena Football League soon, and then there's going to be a league that's going to come out of this. It's called the Outdoor Football League. It's going to be
the
great.
outdoor football league.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, the OFL.
And where will they play?
I would hope in
I'm
America.
envisioning
Yeah.
like, you know, the team that plays up in the north plays like in a forest setting, and then there's a
The
team that
outdoor
plays
football
down in the
league.
desert.
Let's go. Outdoor Football League.
Is there a swamp team from Florida?
If we start a GoFundMe, I will donate money.
The mountain
wow.
team
Yeah.
has rocks in the end zone.
I'll do a monthly payment to the GoFundMe for the Outdoor Football League.
The Santa Barbara Beach Cruisers.
Santa Barbara has one of the best football stadiums. If you haven't looked it up, it's right there on the fucking beach.
Yeah. Did you see
has CFB Campus Tours done a Santa Barbara thing?
Yes, but they don't have a football program. They got rid of it. Like the JUCO uses it now. Yeah. But their old one, the Gauchos, used to have a football program there.
Yeah, they've had their sports programs have had checkered past. A lot of some on campus.
It's an amazing stadium though. You're looking at it.
Yeah, no, you're right on the beach.
It's fucking amazing.
Cool. The campus in general is pretty next level. I mean, for being just a ho-hum, state school, you literally on the beach. I don't know how the kids that go there don't get into all sorts of trouble.
Oh, I think they do.
Yeah. Okay. Because I went to school in the country where it was like cows were the opportunity. Couldn't imagine having cities and beaches. I mean, Colby,
what did you do to those cows, Ryan?
Well, Colby knows.
Is a disgusting act.
Cows can't tell anything.
Kramer was the guy.
More of a sheep guy,
Kramer was the guy when the freshman was like, "We're going cow tipping."
All right, so I was from the north.
You tip one cow.
I was from the north, so the appeal of wanting to tip a cow was the immediately when I showed up in the country, and it was like, this is interesting to me. There's cows everywhere. They're very accessible.
Why would you want to tip them over?
I want we're gonna get drunk, and the same reason we wanted to get break into the football stadium and drink beers on the 50-yard line because we didn't have anything better to do, Sean. We were in college. It is fun. And so one night we got wasted. We found out that cows are very large animals and very strong, and the fields that they live in are covered with cow shit.
Did you do mushrooms at all?
At that point, before that night, no. I mean, that night had nothing to do with mushrooms. Okay. We weren't harvesting mushrooms that night. No. But yeah, no. I'd say anyone who, if you want to find out if someone's bullshitting you about cow tipping,
cows are like offensive linemen. No center of gravity. Low man wins.
Just ask them if they knock the cow over. Because if you here's the thing: most people won't press up to. You knock a cow over in its sleep, that fucking thing pops up. It's got some agility. It's not rolling back and forth. It's popping up and it's fucking pissed off. And now you've pissed off a 1,000 pound animal. Well,
Tell me you got attacked by a cow.
I've been charged by a couple animals in my life. Cow, you can put in the list.
Bison,
definitely a bison. That I look back on that.
Coronado. Not Coronado. Catalina.
On Catalina, I 100% got too close to a bison, and fortunately, it was an old bison that was sent off to that side of the island by the other bison to die. So I was able to alpha it just enough to save my life, but
heel.
It did not seem
Ryan trying to mean mug a bison.
And it was actually a bison, not those buffalo that they talk about out there in Colorado. You want to talk about some football?
Let's go.
Birmingham, the Stallions. So by the way, a quick update on the schedule. We're back to not playing 2 games at the same time.
Oh man, I missed regional action.
Regional action is going to have to go away. I will say kudos to the command center. Brought to you by the U.S. Army. They did a good job. 2 games at the same time. That was a good stress test for the system. Birmingham here laying 11.5. What the fuck's happening? Cancel the league. Memphis, the Showboats, burn up our futures. I'm out on them. That was I was buying.
Well,
I felt like that time during the summer of sim when I kept betting the Giants against the Rams as they lost 44-2. Birmingham laying 11.5 here, -800 on the money line. Memphis +550. 43 is the total.
Now, Adrian Martinez won't be playing, right? Because they do this rotation thing.
Oh, is it? You have a report?
You know what's hilarious about this league?
They're 100% not doing it.
Well,
I think he's making a joke.
No, they've shifted games. So Corral, I'm assuming, is going to start, just like we assumed last week that Martinez would start this week. What's hilarious is the guy's played 2 games, right? He's the league's leading rusher.
As quarterback too.
By 80 yards.
The league
he averages 12 yards a rush. The league, for some reason, I really think the quality of football is not as good as a year ago. I really feel like they can't run between, like, when you look at the run games of pretty much every team in the league minus Birmingham, it's pretty shitty. It's interesting that the guy started 2 games and he has 302 yards rushing. I don't know that speaks volumes about your leagues. Like these other guys have played in 5 games. This guy's played in 2 games and he's up 80 yards.
They're toying with the league. They're not. No one's coming close. This is not fair. They should have put more thought.
You know what? I think they did a bad job hiring the coaches because it doesn't make sense that like we pretty much have the playoff figured out right now. Like
this
with the
isn't like it
exception
used
of
to be.
DC and San Antonio. So we know Arlington's pretty much eliminated. Memphis and Houston. Memphis is going to lose to Birmingham this week and be pretty much eliminated. Michigan actually has a passing attack now that EJ Perry's out for the year. It's amazing what can just.
Yeah, I mean in the USFL conference, it's over.
Dude,
it's over,
dude. And if San Antonio beats DC this week, I think it's over. So that's the only real relevant game this week. And it's kind of a bummer that it's week 5 and you're like, hey, we have pretty much the whole playoff race figured out.
That's why we're looking at an 11.5 point spread here, Colby.
And I still think you got to lay it, even though it's Corral, because that's the best defensive line, which I don't even know their stats. I know a couple weeks ago they had more than double the sacks of every single team in the league.
Can we just pause for a second though? Because we're talking about how the playoff race in the USFL conference it's over. Michigan, which is the second team,
and dude,
they're still 11-1 in the futures market.
yeah,
they're basically in the playoffs. They're in the play. They're like virtually clinched in the playoffs.
Oh man.
I mean, so we're just taking Birmingham again, right? I mean, there's no,
especially Memphis offensive line looks like the worst offensive line of the league going up against the best defensive line. Part of me wants to say, hey, take the points because Matt Corral's playing, but it's like, no. Birmingham's just a fucking factory.
They're toying with people. No. I mean, what was last week?
Etling, I don't know if is
I mean, Kukas and Williams. Etling's on Michigan.
Oh yeah, sorry. Who was the
Troy Williams was the quarterback last week.
Sorry to embarrass you, Ryan. Jesus. I am dominating. So do we think Kukas is going to be back this week?
I for his sake, I would hope that if he wants any chance of playing, like I'd sit this one out.
He's not playing.
The other defense, like I said, let me see if I can quickly pull it up. They had more than double
Troy
the
Williams
sacks.
threw 2 interceptions. This is 248 yards. Only 51.4 completion.
Okay, percentage. So it's no longer double, but they've only gotten 1 sack since then. So 18 sacks. But to give you an idea, most of the rest of the league's at like 10 to 12. So
it's a tough matchup.
They're gonna get fucked up. That O-line
Stallions have won 11 in a row. I mean, that's insane. And again, like Colby said, Adrian Martinez, 138 rushing yards on 9 carries last week. Have you been playing him in DFS?
I have.
I'm not.
That's got to be a smash.
But it's ridiculous that he's only started 2 games, Sean. So like, he's clearly the best player in the league. But when you look at Birmingham's stats, rushing, they're more than 250 yards better than every other team in the league. And then passing, you would think, oh, they must be a run first team. Passing, they're the second ranked passing team and only like 40 yards behind Arlington, who's been getting their ass kicked every game. They're just way better than everyone in the league. You got to lay the points.
Yeah. It's the system. We don't walk away from a good system. 12 PM. Do you want to add anything, Sean?
No, I mean, there's really not much to be said.
The cream is rising to the top.
I got cute once and faded the Stallions. Other than that, they've been dominating.
Birmingham is plus 120.
They don't even miss. Scooby, you're right.
Plus 120 to win the championship.
Yeah, I mean, again,
they're not going to be favored in the championship.
At some point when we were talking in futures, I said, yeah, we're going to hit our plus 300 and somehow lose money on all these other crazy futures bets. Yeah. That's the league we're living in.
Memphis is 45-1. Any interest?
No.
Yeah, they're out of the play.
No.
I think they're out. I think we can safely
in a way that after Sunday night's game,
I'm crossing them. I'm striking.
We might have the whole season figured out.
Officially, if the Renegades lose, the Renegades are 0-5. If they lose,
they're officially
eliminated.
Memphis, I'm going to.
Memphis is 1-4, but
they lose and they're 1-5. They're out.
Probably. Yeah. I mean, but Michigan. It would involve the Renegades beating the Michigan Panthers.
I'm crossing their name off. All right.
I'm burning those futures.
12 PM on the West Coast. We got the Houston Roughnecks. They're not looking very good, taking on another team that seems to be separating and they're back at home. The St. Louis Battlehawks with
Call is the law, right?
Tony Meatballs looking like making Colby look like a big time meatball with his take about his coaching abilities. -12.5 for the Battlehawks, -1,000 on the money line, +650 for the Roughnecks. 47.5 is the total.
I appreciate Mark Thompson's tweet, the running back for the Roughnecks.
What did he say?
It says, "We can make the playoffs if we run the ball."
Oh boy.
Right? He's just saying, hey, you give him 3 carries a game, you know he's better than he's. I don't know. Over the years, he's looked like the best running back in this league, or these leagues. I still can't take Houston on the road here at that filthy Battle Dome.
Butler, the receiver for the Battlehawks.
Butler,
yeah, 6 catches for 147 yards, 2 touchdowns. He's the leading receiver heading into week 6
too, man.
And the Battlehawks seem to have a legit home field advantage. How do the Roughnecks hang around in this game?
I'll take the points. Give me the point.
You'll take the points. They did. What scares me is what St. Louis did to DC. What they put a 25-0 run in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they did dress it up a little bit, right? But they still were very impressive. That team is super talented, but I just think 12.5 in these leagues is a lot. And is like with Birmingham, I actually think they're great on both sides of the ball. I still don't know how good St. Louis's defense really is, but I'll take the points just because of that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're buying low because Houston lost by 23.
Houston fucking sucks.
They do suck. I understand that.
They did beat Arlington.
We learned about this, Sean. The good teams are good and the bad teams are really bad. You just lay the points.
But it's
spring football.
St. Louis is clinched, right?
Not
Houston,
quite.
I mean, to me,
just as much as Birmingham's clinched, right?
Houston losing by 14 at Michigan. To me, that's, you could maybe talk yourself, oh, they lost by 23 against Birmingham. You're buying them at a great value in the market. There is no market. This St. Louis, Houston sucks. St. Louis is the play.
No, I met with the team. We have no team. That's what I feel like.
Can I be the first to say this is no way to bring a team to Houston? Bring back the Gamblers. Bring back the Gamblers.
Why did they take away the Gamblers? They had one of the coolest names and uniforms. You filthy whores. Okay.
Who are you calling the whores now? We got to be more direct because you have all these enemies.
I do.
You don't want to. I mean,
Colby's like Nixon with his enemies list.
The landlord might
Colby,
think you're talking about
that's
him.
a great.
I am not a crook.
First episode of the Lisp Gambling Podcast.
565.
The Lisp Gambling
we're not talking
Podcast.
about that publicly
First
yet.
episode of the podcast. Colby, just list off your. I mean, you do well with the downloads on your college football power rankings, but you need a power ranker enemies because there's so many of them. Now, a lot of people think dome football #1. Is it the targeting?
Well, I thought you were going to say people. Okay,
No,
you're saying anything.
It can be anything. It can be people. It can be The Rock. It could be targeting.
See, I don't have like
Dome
hatred
football.
for The Rock. I don't. Targeting is targeting's. That's
soft
number
people.
one.
Whatever it is.
Targeting
You
number one.
got to put out Colby's.
REM might make the list.
Yeah, there's plenty of everyone. Usually, I know how Colby's going to weigh in on stuff. The new kickoff rule,
horrible.
It's predictable, but every once in a while he'll throw you a curveball. Like
hey, I thought I like Halo.
I'm not a huge REM guy. But to see that REM's even being considered on the list, that's why I get to tune into the show. I did not see that coming.
It just popped in my brain. You know what I mean? There's a lot of stuff. We could talk a lot. This is why it's going to be a hit podcast. We've talked about this.
What Colby hates.
No, I thought this is the list podcast though, right?
Yes.
There's this because it won't all be what I hate. One episode will be, how you prefer your potatoes, mashed potatoes, or do you like, do you
fingerling?
Is it the sweet potatoes? Do you like sweet potatoes?
Best sauce to complement holiday meat.
Oh,
whew. That is
not save your answer. Sean, you can join us.
But you don't do holiday meat, do
you? What do you mean?
Oh yeah, Ryan.
What do you mean?
Ryan. Well, Ryan.
Here we go.
Ryan for his Thanksgiving, he has like a can of beans in the desert, and says like, "Don't I want to be off the grid?" But Ryan, the grid has NFL football all day, and there's great, delicious food and meats inside. Thanksgiving is the only day of the year I want to be inside.
Super
all
pushy.
day.
You're super pushy with your fucking Thanksgiving.
No, it's not my agenda. I get it. You're a Jehovah's Witness who hates all of
I
it.
just picture him like slicing a pineapple in the middle of the desert.
I mean, I have turkey. I eat
Beans and franks.
I eat
franks and beans.
I eat some of the same fucking
sure. It was like
food that you normally
powdered
do.
dry turkey, a turkey MRE.
No. We're Thanksgiving's a holiday to car camp. You know.
Yeah, everyone has that tradition.
I think David in the chat is correct. Canceling tackle football for kids has to be.
What?
That's like a number one.
Wow. Gavin
Who's
Newsom's gonna be on
canceling
the
it?
list.
California's
These people,
yeah,
no
these
one's
fucking
canceling
idiots.
it. I see a tackle football practice every time I go to a certain.
No, they're
pro-
trying to come for me. That's why
No,
we're fighting. I'm out there. See, what you don't understand is off air. I'm fighting, guys. You know what I mean? I'm in these Twitter streets fighting hard. I'm a flamethrower. You know what I mean?
I just think that you are being taken advantage of. There's no one. Tackle football is fine as long as parents want their kids to play. It's gonna happen.
Sure.
Sunday.
The smokers said, California's never going to come for them indoor
Come on.
smoking.
They're just putting us in a different side of the restaurant. Don't worry. We'll always be able to smoke indoors. Oh, hey, it's just the planes.
Yeah.
Well, fine. Well, I'll chew a little gum, nicotine gum. It'll get me through the flight. Ryan, they're coming for smoking in casinos. I don't know if you saw this, but
Yep.
What? Who?
See?
people are coming
That's
for
what I'm
it.
saying.
And I'm standing up
In
for
Nevada?
it.
Mhm.
Yes. They are trying. There's already some buzz about
See-
getting rid of smoking in casinos. I immediately responded to the poll question.
People like to smoke and play the NFL slot machine.
See, you're one of these people enjoying all these.
I know. I'm one
but
of
he
them.
doesn't
I
even-
like smoking in casinos.
Oh.
That's the only time I smoke. And I responded with smoking in casinos is our last bastion of freedom.
Ooh,
With a
wow.
cigarette
This
emoji and American flag. I got like 45 likes and a hilarious group of new followers. And I'm like, yeah, this guy's
No, but
preaching.
Kramer's one of these guys that just
What do you
he's
mean?
on his
I'm
gravy
one of
train
these
with
guys.
biscuit wheels.
Yeah, he's up in his ivory tower.
Yeah, and he has no idea. And then he
living
doesn't.
his digital
He
horse
doesn't. Do,
life.
he doesn't do any of these fights.
No.
And then he realizes one day that he can't. All of his
Yeah.
freedoms are gone. They're fucking
I-
gone.
like,
you know what I mean?
All of a sudden, I walk into a casino. I can't watch Sean smoke a cigarette and play the slot machine.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have I would.
He's sitting over here looking at Dances with Wolves.
No, I'm
what the fuck are we talking about here?
Just trust me on this
We're
one.
doing a deep dive on Cosner over here. He's got a top
Well,
25 Cosner.
While
movies.
Kramer's looking
Hey.
up Dancing with Wolves references, make sure you go to underdogfantasy.com. Crazy that dogs evolved from wolves. Pretty wild ride for wolves, right? One day they were hunting. Next thing they know, there are logos for best ball drafts. Best ball mania is here, giving away millions of dollars in prizes. $25 entry fee. If you use our promo code SGPN, you get 4 free entries because you have deposit 100, you get 100 free. Courtesy of Underdog Fantasy. Their pick 'em, the higher lower, super fun to play. Great for the NBA and NHL playoffs. They even have it for the UFL. Unfortunately, underdogfantasy.com, promo code SGPN. Get you $100 deposit match up to $100. Underdog Fantasy, promo code SGPN. Kramer.
Sorry, I just found a
yeah,
picture of you.
What was going on with this?
This
Cosner?
is Sean showing up to fend smoking. And,
All right. I mean, that's not exactly the hat I would wear, but I'll take that. Someone's got to stand up for smoking in casinos. The whole thing is, hey, you can do whatever you want in Vegas. Can I have a cigarette inside? Sure.
do you
For
remember?
now,
Do you remember when you had to be eating or drinking?
I'm going to talk
smoke?
to
And not-
Derek about this.
You had to be smoking, eating, or drinking to not wear your mask during the
the
pandemic.
COVID.
You think they're going to ban smoking? This was the
Is Bowser going to vote?
Ryan thinks I'm joking, and then did I think they were going to make people wear masks for 2 years? No, but then you don't say anything, and then it happens.
Did I think that half the NFL would be domes? This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah, Colby is right. We got to take a stand. The stand, I'm drawing a line in the sand. And that
rich
is smoking
people
in
like to
casinos.
smoke while they're losing money. I just can't see this being turned off.
You're crazy.
What do you mean?
Look, I would think football people wouldn't need a DJ and a waiter and all this bullshit at stadiums these days.
In general, I
right?
completely agree. But I think
They're coming for smoking
Vegas
in
beats
Vegas
for-
casinos.
Vegas-
They're coming for it, right?
You think it's like a realistic realistically, there's a chance that they ban smoking.
They already have smoke-free casinos.
But that's a personal choice,
right? And that's how it starts. They had smoke-free restaurants. Hey, if your restaurant or your bar wants to, what happens is these fucking lawyers start suing employers. My blackjack dealer fell victim to secondhand smoke, and they get sued for a guy getting lung cancer. Who was a blackjack dealer for 25 years, probably unrelated. And then he knew what he signed up for.
And he knew what he fucking signed up for.
These mega corporations want to avoid getting sued. So yes, cigarettes will eventually be banned in Vegas casinos.
Wow.
I mean, not if I have anything to say about it.
Do you think they'll get banned before or
Josh,
after
can we get a graphic?
First,
Sean predicts the death of Sister Jean. Now predicting the death of cigarettes in casinos.
Well, both will happen.
Wow.
It's just a matter
Sister
of time.
Jean's probably still a smoker.
Sister Jean, it's just Sister Jean.
She was in the golden age of
pack
smoking.
a half a day.
I watched.
She flew and smoked.
When I was younger, I watched this thing on TV.
I need a cigarette.
Oldest guy in the world at the time was living in the fucking Andes, smoking hand rolled tobacco cigarettes every day. Turned out it was just about fresh air.
You're never in control.
Cigarettes are not bad for you.
You're never in
Air
control.
is bad for you.
Air
is bad for you. They're lying to you.
Oh yeah, court storming. The ban on court storming. I mean, it's going to be really tough.
That's really
it's going to be really
high.
tough for shout out to Cannabis.
Here's what I want. I want to be alive just up until the end when everyone's being forced to take medicine to suppress their emotions. I just want to see it so I can go out with the flame. I want to be the guy who poured gasoline all over himself. Just go out for a reason on the 50-yard line. I mean, if you're gonna go out,
indoor or outdoor though, because indoor the whole dome could go down.
The guy tried that at the Trump trial. Didn't really gain a lot of attention, unfortunately.
No, it'd be for a better message.
Oh, okay. I don't even know if he was for or against it. It was unclear. Unfortunately,
he was obviously very selfish, trying to make it about himself.
Yeah, come on.
I mean, that's an incredibly selfish thing to do. And then no one wants to identify a melted face.
No, that's a tough one.
It's selfish. All right, you want to get back to the UFL?
Sure.
Speaking of melted faces, the product on the field, Arlington, the Renegades. Really, Sean was onto this ahead of the rest of us.
You guys got,
but this is a bad team. Bob Stoops, bad coach. 10 a.m. on the West Coast.
He won the Extreme Cup last year. I'm sorry.
That was a long time ago. They're taking on the Michigan Panthers. Michigan at home laying 4 -200 on the money line.
How is this only 4
Arlington
points?
plus 165. 42 is the total. I have no idea.
Well, Michigan again had a really good defense.
Playoff team, 11-1 on the future.
Wait, did you watch them last week?
I'm buying another future this week. Give me Michigan plus 1100.
Honestly, did you watch? Mike Nolan, you had Danny Etling as a backup the whole fucking year, and then you go out and sign Bryce Perkins. He's just sitting there available. I'm so confused, dude.
They don't have a big front office.
Wait, but
they don't have a ton of resources.
Etling,
watching YouTube film,
dude. They're firing the ball on the field, so now you have to respect the pass.
Oh wait, you played in the NFL and you're available.
What's going on here?
They finally figured out their offense
by default, by the other guy being out for the season.
Yeah. You're only one injury away from a great team.
They found their
Michigan figured it out.
They found their offense.
No, but
he was in the NFL.
Dude, they look like they're like legit a title contender now. It's like, wait, I don't understand how you were starting EJ Perry got photos on you. Did Mike Nolan go to Epstein Island?
The running game came alive as well. They had 160 rushing yards, 36 attempts, 5 rushing touchdowns. But to your point, we said EJ Perry couldn't get worse. Then he got injured, and it's been awesome for Michigan.
Yeah.
Well, and then they signed like I said, like they signed Bryce Perkins. You're sitting there saying like, wait. EJ Perry doesn't even belong in the league if you get guys like this out there.
Was he not available originally? Is this like a timing thing where
even DeAndre Johnson, who was a stud on the Generals last year, he's out there, and it's like I'm just a little confused. I'm a little confused.
What do you think it is?
Is it like they call it originally and they're like, nah, I got some drywall to do like in Major League? It's like
I certainly, for there to be like quality, it's not like they're unknown either, whether it's either player you just mentioned, whether it's film at a different level, a higher level, or just film at the same level. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's clearly, again, the Birmingham highlights how much a team can be ahead of everyone else. Because they're playing a different sport at this point. Like Michigan, they're just figuring out their roster.
Well,
they literally picked up a guy off the street. I mean, it's
by them being able to pass. I thought before, like,
you shouldn't solve your season with a free agent off the street. That's not a good sign for the league.
Well, and you could argue San Antonio by their starting quarterback getting injured and Dormady coming in, they look way better. But look,
Storm and Dormady.
It just shows you coaches are so bad at picking quarterbacks.
Well, that's why they're coaching the UFL. They got no eye for talent. If they were great at talent evaluation, they'd still be in the NFL.
Except Skip Holtz. Skip Holtz knows what the fuck he's doing. But look, Etling comes in and he goes 14 of 21, 67%, 175 yards, 8.3 yards of completion, which then opens up the running game. They run for 160, which this team, if they can do this, like their defense is legit. Their special teams is really good. And then, like I said, when they picked up Perkins, who hasn't even seen the field, he's learning the playbook. Perkins is probably better than Etling.
So Michigan doesn't play Birmingham in the first round of the playoffs.
No, they would.
They would.
No, they would. That's why they're still like 11-1 in the.
But it was a 7-point game with EJ Perry.
But I mean, there probably still is value because what would you set the? What do you think the money line? I don't know. Maybe not. What do you think the money line
spread?
is? Well, the spread and the money line for that first game against Birmingham. I mean, but people forget the Michigan Panthers were the only team that gave Birmingham a game.
The spread.
That's what I'm saying.
The spread,
and that was with EJ Perry.
Yeah,
they got Danny Etling now. And look, if
that might actually be a game.
Well, if Etling gets injured, then Perkins comes in. They win the whole fucking Freedom Cup.
The problem is they might have a letdown game if they beat the Stallions in that first game of the playoffs. But the Panthers, to me, are well.
You look at what one injury's done for them. Imagine them with two injuries.
This team's going all the way.
So at 11-1, you would need basically plus 250, plus 250. So they're not going to be a big dog against too many other teams. But let's say it was plus 300 in the first game. It's 7.5 or something like that. Then you would need them to be better than 200, 2-1 dogs for it to be good value, which almost certainly they would not be 2-1 dogs against anyone else in the league. Confirm?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then 11-1's a good price still, because I mean,
they pretty much clinched,
and you're giving yourself an amazing out against your 3-1 Birmingham position, and probably the bottom of the market. I don't think they're going to be any better than 11-1.
Yeah. Especially after this week, lay the 4.
Yeah. Lay the 4.
Yeah.
This is a great
lock potential, right?
Yeah, I do. I do think so. I mean, the only other reason I wouldn't lock it is because Birmingham's playing.
Is Arlington the worst team in the league?
Yeah.
What's
they
worse
find out
is
ways
they've
to
quit.
lose.
They've quit the past 2 weeks, which to me,
they just got it. Luis Perez is a bunch of empty passes.
They should play Lindsey Scott. He just sits there. He'll come out for like a 2-point conversion, look awesome, and then they're like,
"Why don't they play Lindsey Scott? He's a problem."
Yeah.
Well, especially now when you're facing elimination.
That's what it is.
Be like, oh, this is the game Luis Perez gets.
I watch Lindsey Scott. I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah,
this guy could play in the fucking
That's what
NFL.
I think too. I'm like, you're telling me you couldn't put him in on an NFL roster?
I guarantee if you put him on the Chiefs, they would figure something out.
Yeah,
he'd run something. They'd have a play. Mike McDaniel and with Dolphins, get him down. They'll do something. They'll figure something.
That is kind of a life hack though, or like a football hack of put this guy in the Chiefs. They'd be looking pretty good.
Sean, you know my favorite landing
if Andy
spot?
Reid got his hands on him. It's like, yeah, he's a good coach. He does make players better.
It's the number one free agent destination for everyone.
Zach Wilson, put him on that Chiefs team.
You know, I
don't know about that one.
I'd really like to see a second chance with a coach like Sean Payton. 1 p.m. on the West Coast, the Brahmas of San Antonio,
by far the most important game.
Taking on DC, the Defenders. Defenders +1, +100 on the money line, -120 the other way. 42.5 is the total. Last week, Colby, you were saying something about DC never having lost at home.
I
smartly picked against them.
I faded them because
and then picked against them.
They're just not that good, man.
They got their ass beat, and we were so high on the coach. The fact that there was a lot of actual coaching in the past.
But the roster is not the same.
But
as
also
last year,
does seem underprepared as a coach.
Sure.
And I would say the Brahmas are in my top 3 of well-coached teams in the UFL. If I'm making a power ranking.
Sort of. I love when they I need to find this clip for you guys. They interview Wade Phillips like mid game about his decision, and he just goes, "Huh? What?"
Wade Phillips is the perfect spring football coach.
Like he had no idea he was at the fucking game.
Perfect.
We need to bring back the photo of Jerry Glanville wearing 2 headsets. That feels like a thing that.
What's this? Coaching? What are you talking about?
Remember that time that Wade Phillips stood us up, told us he was on vacation.
I know. And then we saw him.
We turn on God's Eye and he's sitting there on fucking NFL Network.
For that reason alone, he might make my list.
I like his team, and unfortunately, the Brahma, the air raid is not wearing off.
I'm producer Josh. I sent to you in Slack the photo of Jerry Glanville wearing 2 heads. This is all the way back in 2020. What made you think of this? Because I just Wade Phillips going, made me think of an out of touch. So he goes, we asked him about this. He's like, the offense is on one headset, defense is on the other. I gotta talk to both of them.
Now,
that's a great answer.
Now, when we do a list on our best guest, I think Glanville might be the best.
Yeah, we got to get him back on, Colby.
He's a DC right now in Oklahoma at Division II school. He's 84 years old and he's a DC.
He's also racing cars, man.
Yeah, he's a fucking that's a guy on the good list, man.
He's a good story.
Yeah.
If you ever stumble across him on a podcast.
Oh, I mean, just look him up. Dig up our episode with him. It was pretty good.
He told some good story. Just good storyteller.
Yes.
Brahmas. I think what happened last week is tough. And the Brahmas, we originally thought that the air raid was going to wear off. It's the middle of the season.
No, but that was before. I didn't know that the quarterback would get injured and this blessing would happen. Injuries help these teams.
Colby, I haven't even seen you be outspoken about them trying to neuter the beer snake. Do you see all the rules they're trying to attach?
What
to
is
the
this
beer
about?
Snake?
Well, I did not actually.
Who's behind this?
No, I sent it in the group chat.
Is this
I missed it.
This is
what happened? Enlighten me. They have a bunch of rules like.
Oh, I mean, imagine
this. I guarantee you is UFL Jeff.
Imagine you found a.
It's got to be.
2-ton anaconda, and you tried to put it in a 2,000 gallon tank. That thing's gonna get starved.
They just don't understand what sells the sport, and especially the DC, who's had just such a hard time with the way everything is gone. Like they want to have fun and watch football.
It's amazing too. The Rock is a wrestler. How did wrestling what is amazing about wrestling? The crowd helps sell the product to the audience. Like, how are they missing this so bad?
It's fucking unbelievable.
Yeah, it was something about like only the team personnel can start the snake. It's some they added some dumb rules to
it. What are we lighting the fucking beam? Like, fuck off.
That's what I'm saying.
They're stacking plastic cups.
Look, when I'm commissioner of the OFL, the Outdoor Football League, that will never happen.
Ryan's probably like, they would never outlaw stacking plastic cups.
What?
Everyone likes doing it.
Oh no, that was always. I mean, that's like the beach ball. The beach ball is very fun, but they always have to come and pop it.
Yeah, why?
Some
Who
dude
cares? It's a beach ball.
Some dude who's gonna.
I'm not even. It's not like it brings me great amounts of joy to see the beach ball, but clearly some people find it fun.
Some guys.
Who cares?
Going home from work that day. Honey, you should have seen it. I grabbed it with one hand and just popped it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Boom.
Step right on.
Killed all that fun. Look at me. I'm such a big man.
This game is kind of interesting.
Best game by far.
Brahmas are a road favorite here. There's 2 versions of this game. One, the Brahmas seem to they've won a few games here. They figured out how to run the ball. John Lovett. It stinks. And wait, what was it?
What are we talking?
Lovitz is it stinks from the critic.
Yeah.
John Lovett and Morgan Ellison ran the ball really well for San Antonio. Defenders kind of just lost it in that fourth quarter. Maybe the game got away from them. Do they bounce back at home or do they lose again? I mean, because they're not a great team, but they played all right at home.
The league really needs DC to win. To make this playoff race just any interesting.
What are you suggesting?
They got to win. I'm taking DC at home. Have a lemon party. Remember they tried to take the snake away and they just they did vodka sodas with lemons and they just
they had a drink where they gave people the entire lemon. Like,
and this
what
is
did you think was gonna happen?
and the league folded because the fucking cost of a lemon that year. Remember that? You remember when California had a shortage on that, Sean?
I don't.
Maybe it was just me because I was bartending, but like 5 or 6 years ago, they had a shortage of lemons and limes because of a drought.
I had a lemon tree in my backyard, so we were
so you had
moving seriously,
and you had a lemon party at your house. Huh?
Colby's fascination with the lemon party. He travels around with the elites and drinks the blood.
This is also a rematch game from the first game of the season,
which was very close. The score was closer than the game was closer. Than
Defenders were laying 6 in San Antonio. They lost 27-12.
50-yard pass to the center.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
That's football. Yeah. That's football, Colby. Why are you getting mad?
I'll take DC in a revenge.
An athletic
play. They need because let me tell you this: if San Antonio wins this game, we don't need week 6, 7, 8, and 9 or 10. It's figured out. It's figured out.
Kramer,
what has DC done that makes you want to bet on them?
They got Greg Williams. There'll be a bounty on Dormandy.
This is a new time.
I mean, they played the Stallions tough.
San Antonio's got some bullshit wins. Remember, they had the 4th and 12. They're not as good as their record. DC
they played the Stallions tough. They beat the Renegades last minute. They hung around with the Roughnecks. Like they're just kind of a blot.
The Roughnecks. Yeah, I think you know what you're helping my point. Give me San Antonio. I think there are 4 good teams in this league and there are 4 bad teams. In this
I think league. DC is in a bounce back spot here after.
I'm with you. We're a couple sharps. We 7-1 as collective.
Time for our locks and dogs, brought to you by Unifyd. Whether you're a world-class athlete or a podcaster like Colby, we all understand the importance of mental and physical well-being, proper recovery for top-notch performance. You won't see that here in the UFL. These guys probably need some Unifyd to achieve top-notch performance. Unifyd Healing is a new and super innovative global network of wellness centers powered by the Energy Enhancement System, or EESystem. If you haven't heard of EESystem yet, you'll want to listen up. This technology promotes wellness, deep relaxation, purification, and rejuvenation. Whether you're here in LA or hundreds of other locations across the globe, access to a center is easy and affordable. Interested in experiencing the EESystem technology for yourself? Go to unifydhealing.com/SGPN to learn more and find a center near you. That's UNIFYD. healing.com/SGPN. No materials or testimonials on the Unifyd Healing website are intended to be viewed as medical advice or a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always seek the advice of your physician or other qualified healthcare provider with any questions you may have regarding medical condition or treatment and before undertaking a new healthcare regimen, including EESystem.
Slippery when wet, Colby.
Kramer, lock and dog. What do you got?
You sure you want me to go first? Lock. Michigan.
Oh, wow. Okay.
See,
took
here.
all favorites. Kind of in a box of no corner.
We're gonna take for the dog this week. We're gonna take the Birmingham, Michigan parlay.
Laying the points, I assume, on both.
Yes, because I would lock up both.
That's what I did last week. That
I would
paid
double
dividends. Lock. I'm going to take Birmingham as my lock.
Well, I mean, why change horses midstream, Sean?
Great point, Colby. For my dog, I'll take St. Louis -12.5 parlayed with Birmingham -11.5, aka unwatchable Saturday. Colby,
it's really bad.
You got to lock up Birmingham. All right. You don't change horses midstream. It's the Derby week. You know, the Stallions are getting
you got to ride the Stallions on Saturday.
That's a really good point.
It's not too late.
NYRA bets code.
It's easy
SGPN
to see a tide turn.
I mean, I like I said, I want to lock up both of these teams. So
no, I love the Panthers as well, but Ryan was all over it, so I didn't want to get involved.
I mean, look, I can't give out a +100 defenders here. Let's do a parlay. I don't think Houston can beat St. Louis on the money line, so I can't take Houston as the dog.
Okay.
The parlay is Birmingham and Michigan.
Yeah. Kramer parlay.
Yeah. Right.
I think Michigan's good. It's going to be interesting. Real quick, if you had to guess, Colby, who are you having coming out of the XFL conference? Both the Battlehawks and the Brahmas tied at 4-1 here. Defenders, interesting spot here.
I think the Battlehawks are the best team, and the championship game is at that
Colby's right.
Battle Dome.
This Brahmas Defenders game is a playoff game.
Yeah, that's it. But that's what I'm saying. They need DC to win, or the league is irrelevant in the final 5 weeks.
I want this Brahmas team in a playoff atmosphere. I don't care where it is. DC. What last week was? It's like the third week in a row where I've been like, well, I thought you were a good coach. I thought you were a good coach.
I believed in you.
Because you played the Stallions tight. We got fooled. That's all. We got fooled.
Well,
my bad. I'm moving on.
Look, I love Bum.
Not
Phillips.
you, idiots.
I love Bum Phillips, and Wade Phillips.
What do you mean? You don't like Wade?
Well, I'm just saying. It's not like he set the world on fire in the NFL. You know what I mean? This is a guy. I mean, what, a little bit over 500. A little bit over 500 is his final record.
Great players, coach.
Yeah. 76. Damn, I didn't realize that. He's 76. That's why I said, what's this? They asked him, wait, what was that 2-point conversion? Huh? What are you talking about?
Huh?
I'm just here because of star power. Right?
Yeah. Imagine loving coaching that much that you're grinding in the UFL.
76.
God bless you, Wade
It's
Phillips.
like Glanville at 84. Him and Glanville. Yeah.
What was Wade Phillips doing 40 years ago? Was he working?
40 years ago would be what? That was 80s. That was what?
Yeah, 84.
84 he was the defense coordinator of the New Orleans Saints.
Really?
40 years ago. And now he's fucking working the San Antonio Brahmas.
Our entire life, Wade Phillips has been coaching. That's insane.
Yeah.
Sad of the
He
day.
started coaching at the University of Houston in '69.
Oh my God.
God.
Dude loves ball.
Yes.
When
No
was he
wonder, no
born?
wonder he doesn't want to do our podcast.
I told you, 76, born in 47.
Oh shit, he's my dad's age.
It's grinder.
I couldn't imagine my dad coaching a UFL football team right now. I'll
For
be
a lot of
honest.
Really?
I'll be honest.
All right. Hey, make sure you smash that subscribe button. Help us keep the free content train rolling. Check out the UFL Gambling Podcast, I guess. And of course, make sure you tune in tomorrow, aka Thursday. A Kentucky Derby episode is dropping, and get in on the nyrabets.com/SGPN25. I mean, who wouldn't one, the deposit bonus is sweet. 2, I mean, the $25 free bet, you can do a lot of damage.
Oh, what do you mean? You will do a lot of damage.
Yes, you will do a lot of damage. So make sure you get in over there, nyrabets.com/SGPN25.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
Quick promo, Sean.
Sure.
We are recording a special edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast Stories show over on Patreon with the man in the box, aka the Bet Detective.
Oh yes,
CJ Sullivan. So you're interested in a cool, unfiltered 45 minutes to an hour with CJ.
Yeah, very much looking forward to that.
You know where to find it.
Make sure you check us out, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/Patreon.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
It was always the Stallions.
Kramer, let it ride.